Hi, welcome to session 3, where we look at innovation. So far we've looked at culture and entrepreneurship. Now, the vision of an entrepreneur as a maverick who drives innovation is more myth than reality. No single individual, no matter how brilliant, can take a good game-changing innovation all the way from idea to reality. Innovation has to be a company-wide endeavor, supported from top to bottom by systems and structures, and a company culture that nurtures transformative ideas and products. So let's look at the realities of innovation in a business. For a start, it ain't easy. In fact, it's very difficult. As the saying goes, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. The concept of a light bulb moment or ideas in the bath are more myth than fact. Innovation requires a systematic approach and a lot of hard work to generate and validate a portfolio of ideas. Now, around 70% of impactful innovations are generated by existing companies, and that is by entrepreneurs. Within organizations, ideas are routinely killed off. This is before they get to see the light of day, often due to internal rivalries or jealousies. Also, you should consider that what you have may be good enough, and a small tweak to your product or service may be all that's needed. Originality is often overrated. Believe it or not, most innovations are a variation on a theme that already exists. And the more ideas you have, the more you create. The best way to have a good idea is to have lots of ideas. You might need to come up with 100 ideas to have one roaring success. Innovation is only the starting point. The hard part is turning that idea into a viable product or service. Also, innovation isn't the monopoly of high-tech world. Every company needs to create value in a demanding, ever-changing market. And finally, you need to talk to customers, suppliers, and other stakeholders. This is where you get most of the information going forward. Where does Ireland stand in the ranking of the most innovative countries in the world? Well, according to Bloomberg's annual Innovation Index, we're currently 16th. We actually top 2 of the 7 criteria for the index. This is in the area of manufacturing value added and productivity metrics measured in terms of gross domestic product. Now, we're obviously benefiting here from our foreign direct investment in both high tech and pharma in the country. That gives us a high per capita gross domestic product. But it also probably suggests that we have quite a way to go with our indigenous industries. Well, let's look at some of these indigenous industries. In a 2019 study by Burke and Roper, almost half of our micro businesses had introduced a new product or service within the last 3 years. We would also rank way ahead of our microbusiness counterparts in the US in the adoption of new technologies, as shown in the chart at the bottom. This suggests that there's a good underlying culture for innovation in Ireland, but also that there's plenty of room for improvement. So what do we mean by innovation? Well, for the rest of this session, we'll start by looking at the definition of innovation and how this has led us to design the innovation source map. Then we look at disruptive innovation and open innovation. We look at innovation capital. Who has it and how do you get it? We'll then investigate why continuous innovation is so important to a business and how it affects the value of the business when it is recognized as an innovative company. The Oxford English Dictionary defines innovation as the process of introducing new methods, ideas, or products. It also defines being innovative as introducing new ideas, original and creative in thinking. Now, there's another definition from Clay Christensen, who's regarded as the father of innovation. And he defines it as introducing simplicity, convenience, accessibility, and affordability, where complication and high costs are the status quo. So now, before we look at how these definitions lead to the creation of the innovation source map, we need to create a brainstorming mindset by asking some key questions. These are: what will new technologies enable us to do? What will changing environments force us to do? And what will customers want next? There are many examples of new technologies and changing environments. Everything ranging from artificial intelligence to blockchain, or environmental changes as climate change, all the way to pandemics. This list is intended to be illustrative rather than exhaustive, but it does highlight the dangers of failing to stay up to date with change and how it might affect your business. Here then we have an innovation source map. It contains 28 cells or trigger points under the categories of ideas, methods and procedures, products and services, and markets. The concept behind the innovation source map is to attempt to address all aspects of the business as sources of innovation. And by the way, this is a general innovation source map, and the cells can be modified to reflect different industries. For each of the 28 cells or trigger points, we ask the questions: bearing in mind a world of changing environments, why are we doing things this way? And also bearing in mind the emergence of new technologies, can we do it any better? This has the potential of generating hundreds of innovative ideas to start off the process of innovation. That was the innovation source map as developed by MBA Global. Another method of generating ideas comes from Dr. Kaihan Krippendorf, and it's called, appropriately enough, the IDEAS acronym. So the I in IDEAS is for imagine. This is imagine, what future do we want? Where do we think we're going? The D is for dissect. So you dissect what part of the business you want to be working on. E is for expand. Then generate some 50 options to innovate that area of the business. A is for analyze those and come up with the ones most likely that your competitors won't copy. And S is for sell. How do you get buy-in from all the various stakeholders involved in such projects? So let's take a look at some entrepreneurial innovation examples, such as the influence of technology on existing products and services, or the potential from big data or data science, and new innovative methods and procedures. Not so long ago, large industrial plants were run literally by the seat of pants methods. Process measurements were often made physically or by rudimentary instruments, sending signals via air pressure to pen and chart recorders located nearby. Nowadays, the combination of remote measurement instruments, electronic data transmission, supervisory control and data acquisition systems, or SCADA systems, and corresponding mobile apps mean that someone working from home has more process information and control and ability to optimize processes than somebody operating at the coalface of plant operations not so many years ago. This is where technology, a combination of various platforms of technology, have combined to produce new methods and procedures. There's a whole new industry behind big data analysis. And as you will have seen, dashboards using free software such as Microsoft Power BI have become ubiquitous. So big data analysis can be used to inform decisions, optimize processes, and improve products and services across a very wide range of business problems. When we're looking at methods and procedures and asking the questions, why are we doing things this way and can we do it any better? We're basically looking at increasing the speed and efficiency of how we work. Let's have a look at the old sales order cycle, for example. Previously, an order may have come in via paper or over the telephone. It would be handled by order processing. An order would be drawn up and then sent to operations or assembly and dispatch. Then a note would have been sent to accounts for invoicing. Then a dispatch note would be prepared and the goods would be dispatched. And then after that, there would be a credit control follow-up several weeks later for payment. Nowadays, this is much more streamlined. The order might come in online and go to automated assembly and packing. An online payment and invoicing system would also kick into place, the goods dispatched. So eliminating a lot of the manual work that went on previously. So a much more efficient process, much more streamlined and faster.